What's the haps? I'm Meroka, and today I'm going to be taking an early look at Dandy, or a brief glimpse into the life of the Candy Alchemist. This is a game currently on Kickstarter by We Fiends, and it's kind of grabbed me a little bit. I'm quite enjoying this, so I thought I would share it with you so that you could have a look and see what you think of it yourselves. So this is a side-scrolling 2D shooter, and it's kind of got some, I would say, almost vaguely roguelike elements in there, so it's kind of interesting. I will take a look at the options menu first. We have, you can play with a mouse control or keyboard. Mouse seems to work perfectly fine for me, so I'm using a mouse. Under video settings, we can change the resolution or full screen. They've got different resolution options for full screen and not full screened. If you're full screened, I think it's everything your monitor can do. If it's windowed mode, it seems to be locked to 16:9 resolutions. There's no other, aspect ratios that you can use, which is a little bit odd, but fair enough. We also have a low quality mode if you're having performance issues, I suppose, but there's very little more to it than that. But bear in mind that this is very much an early alpha. I would hope that we'll have a few more options available to us by the time the game actually launches. At the moment, it's nice to even see that at an early stage. Most games often wouldn't even give you that kind of option, so that's kind of cool. So let's head on in. We have a start, or we can skip the intro. I will show you the intro because it's kind of nice, actually. So there's a couple of minutes of stuff at the start before we actually get into any kind of real gameplay, but it kind of sets the tone, and it's kind of nice. I like this intro. It's a very, very pretty intro. So, we are the Candy Alchemist, this little chap here, surfing on a lollipop with a candy cane. And he can shoot the clouds with his candy cane. This is his weaponry against the forces of, I don't know, we're going to be fighting things. It's a side-scrolling shooter. So, I don't know, it feels like some sort of, I don't know, like a Disney cartoon or something. And if you fly into a cloud, they explode. It's fun. I like it. That's a very cute way to do an intro. I'm liking that already. It does feel like some children's Disney movie or something, yeah. The character itself, I do wish he would show a little bit more facial expression. The fact that he doesn't blink is kind of creepy. He's a little bit weird. And then we go through a dark, rainstormy clouds. There are still clouds in here. They get a few more shots to kill, or poof away. Not really killing them, they're clouds. They're hardly sentient creatures, but there you go. And we come out in a mysterious alternative land. Any kind of narrative that's delivered is purely done through scenery. We're not going to be told pretty much anything at all. So there'll be like these statues in the background that say FF and this weird bird temple thing. Doesn't really tell us much, but infer from it what you will, I suppose. So we have a range of things we can shoot, and the bird will eat them. Again, not really sure what to make of that. Make of it what you will. The bird will eat us, and we will go into some mystical land to play the game. Dandy, or a glimpse into the life of the Candy Alchemist. So now we can actually start getting going. Again, it's going to take... Well, the game reckons it's got a tutorial, which I think is this first section. And it's about 4 minutes long. I think this is considered to be the tutorial. For a tutorial, it's still surprisingly difficult, even in and of itself. And it is entirely possible to fail it. I know, because I have done so on many occasions. It's going to throw a whole bunch of enemies at you, and you kind of got to learn their patterns. Most of the enemies, their attack patterns can be learned. I mean... They all can be learned, in fact. They're all going to have a set thing. These guys are just going to shoot a few projectiles at me, and just dodge them. They're fairly straightforward. Those little blue guys we just fought, so just going to fly kind of towards me. And then after a few waves of enemies, we had a choice of upgrades. 4 health at the bottom. Each upgrade, you can choose to forego your upgrade in favor of extra health. By shooting the middle one, we can restore 1 heart. Or I can have a strawberry or a, I don't know, bottle of water, I guess. These are going to be upgrades, and I think the strawberry one's a good one to have. I can't remember what it's called. It's all candy-themed stuff, so we've got a strawberry Twizzler. Fragiaria apparatus, which is going to change our wand to something else, which gives us auto-fire. Which is nice because it doesn't normally have auto-fire. It's kind of got this weird charge up a shot. If you don't fire for a while... If you don't fire for a while, ouch, there we go, your shots become more powerful, and if you keep firing, they become less powerful, generally speaking. I'm not doing so well. See what I mean about this tutorial? Dang! This is tricky, because this middle one's mechanism is such that when you shoot it, it swells up, and if you don't shoot it for a few seconds, it fires the shots back at you. And it's very hard to shoot it while this other thing behind it is... Can we get him? Yes, well, it got me. See? Tutorial. Tough. Yeah. That thing behind it blocks your shots, so the middle one stops taking damage for a few seconds and fires back at you, which actually makes that surprisingly challenging. So yeah, your standard one, you fire one large shot, or if you keep firing, they get smaller. With that extra power-up that I just got, you just continually fire the smaller shots. However, with a lot of enemies on the screen, you end up firing a lot of shots, and you just end up clicking like a crazy madman. So actually, the auto-fire is much appreciated as an upgrade from my perspective. I guess these larger shots are presumably more powerful, but I don't know, hard to tell, to be honest. Now, we have the Mint. I'm not sure what that does. It makes him pull a weird face. His appearance does change. Obviously, you saw the weapon change to a different type of weapon when I grabbed the last one. The banana... There's one of the items. This is an early build, and one of the items crashes the game, and I'm not sure if it was the banana. I'm gonna find out. It was not the banana. Okay. Anana reditum. Some sort of candied banana, which is gonna give him a weird face. And it's not necessarily immediately obvious what all the things do. Banana obviously gives me kind of some sort of rebound shot, so if I shoot things... Well, I suppose banana, that kind of makes a certain weird, strange sort of sense. So we got these guys again. I'm not really sure the best way to deal with them. I'm not sure. I wonder if I can curve the shots with this. No, not especially. I can try and kill this before I get fired at, though. There we go. It's those little ones seem to have a kind of almost like a slightly random firing pattern, which I guess means if you can wait for an appropriate lull, you can kill the guy in front. Mostly just by firing as fast as you possibly can, I guess. I like that his expression changes. You get a very distinct visual kind of cue that something's happened with each thing that you pick up. Although it's not necessarily always obvious what happens. With the Mint, he pulls a really weird face, but I have no idea what the Mint does at all. These red guys just fly straight towards you, and if you don't take them out pretty quickly, they're fairly painful. And then we have... chocolate will give us a charge shot. Strawberry is obviously, we've seen the strawberry Twizzler. We shall take the Orbis Chocolata, which gives him chocolate smeared around his face, a chocolate hat. And I can do this, which... okay, I've got to time my shots, I guess. Which does that. Whoa! And then that one. There we go. And the little chocolate floating behind me has kind of got a little chocolate orb above its head, which seems to refill as I fly along. If I stop for a section, it doesn't recharge. It only recharges as we're flying. And then after a while, it'll fully recharge. And when that orb is complete and entire, I will be able to do another charge shot, which I cannot do yet. It's not yet fully charged. But every so often, I will get a charge shot, and I can use it. Nope. Still don't have that as an option. So these guys split apart and then slowly sweep the screen, so you kind of got to kill them. Actually, the rebound's actually quite good on that one, because you fire it and then they walk into the line of fire. Yeah, the rebound works well on those two. That's cool. So now we're into kind of a deserty zone, which I think is the actual first proper zone. But as you saw, it's entirely possible to die within what would be considered the tutorial. It's a surprisingly challenging thing. Okay, so these guys are... Ah! Nearly got me. Actually, I've made it this far without taking any damage, which is genuinely impressive. I don't normally make it this far. I will say that much. There doesn't seem to be any music in this zone. There seems to be a lacking music for the second zone, it would seem. So that's a thing. Which is a shame, because that first zone had some rather nice, fairly chilled out, almost ambient sort of thing going on. Whoa, hello. That's a lot of these guys coming at me. And I got them all. Whew, sweet. And more upgrades. We have an egg or the water. I'm still not sure what the water does. The egg. Let's take an egg. See what an egg does. The egg is literally an egg. It is an ovum familiaris. Which gives me a little dude flying around. Looks like a Chow from Sonic. Oh god, I did that wrong. Yeah, these guys are out. Damn it. These guys don't actually fire at you unless you stop firing, so as long as I keep firing, we're fairly okay there. I can just keep firing. They will explode. And there we go. I don't know what this guy's doing. Can I right-click? Does that do anything? No. This is not an upgrade I've seen before, actually, the egg, so... Like I say, it's kind of got this roguelike thing. If I die, I will go straight back to the start. And we're going to get a bunch of random upgrades as we go along. We're going to get different enemies each time, which is why I say it's kind of almost roguelike-y. That was a silly hit to take. Oh well. It's not really much roguelike in the traditional sense, but it's got elements in there that are very similar to it. It's got a very, very charming style going on. It does say some of the images, I mean, you can see like tiled textures in the background that don't tile very well. It's a little bit rough in some places, and I'm dead. But obviously, it's very early alpha. It's a work in progress, and I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. It's cute in a rather disturbing kind of way. And for God's sake, I do wish the guy would blink at least, because he's freaky. Just, I don't know, maybe just a little bit more animation or expression on the guy would be kind of cool. As it is, he's just like, he's so disturbing. But maybe that's the idea, like I say, it's all a bit freaky, so maybe the idea is that he is super freaky as well. He fits the theme quite nicely in his being freaky. I will take an apple. An apple is a twin lollipop. Malum bifurcatus? Does that mean I get to fire 2 shots? Oh, he's so happy now, and I do get to fire 2 shots. I've not seen a twin shot. That's a good one. Now that's going to make things interesting. I have not seen a twin shot at all before. I thought there were only a few upgrades in the game at the minute, and I do seem to, now that I come to record, I seem to be finding all sorts of new stuff I've not seen before, which is cool. This pleases me to know that there's plenty more stuff I still haven't actually seen. This thing is gonna reflect shots back at me. If I can get him through the gap, I can hit him, but I probably shouldn't be. Yeah, there we go. Probably shouldn't be firing at the spiky thing. The spiky thing is gonna just make more shots at me. I did wonder if there would be a split shot kind of thing, because most shooters generally sort of have a thing that allows you to shoot more projectiles, and thus far, I had not found anything. So, nice to know that there is. I can do more damage, which is good. And hit more enemies at once. Like with these guys. You know, when you get swarmed with a lot of enemies, it's nice to be able to fire a whole bunch of shots at once. Whoop. They don't actually break unless they get there, so yeah, you can't accidentally break things ahead of time. So I could have, the egg, I don't know what the egg did, but the banana would give me the reflected double shots, I guess. So, how's that going to affect his face? Yeah, again, it'd be interesting if you could get the facial expressions to kind of stack in some way. Whoa, God, he's getting close. Ow, 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 ow. Ow, ow. Damn it. That was a tricky one, because the spikes were, like, right in front of me. If I messed up, it was, like, reflected right in my face. Oh, well. Okay, these guys are the ones that don't do anything until you shoot them. So I'm quite content to leave them there. And then I can take care of them at my leisure. Like that. And like that. Pow. Obviously, some of the effects do stack. I mean, I guess you could put chocolate on with some of the other stuff. You can have the banana eyes and the chocolate mouth, and they will stack. I don't know. I just like the way the different candied effects play with his weird expression. It's just a nice touch to say, "This is what you've got." It's in the same way that, again, to make a roguelike comparison, if you think about the way sort of Binding of Isaac sort of affected your character's appearance with each upgrade you got, or in many cases. It's that kind of thing. Your physical appearance depends on your actual prowess and abilities, which is kind of a cool touch. Jesus, this thing's nasty. That thing's weaving about like a crazy person. I could probably stand to take some health, but I don't know. I always resent taking the health because I feel like I'm losing out on upgrades, but at some stage there comes a point where you're like, I'm going to actually have to take some health or I'm going to die. But at the same time, I need to get to an upgrade station to be able to do that. And also what comes after the desert. I think there is another zone. I think there's a tutorial and there's like 2 zones. So I guess this is like zone 1 properly. Within the alpha, that is. I imagine within the full game there will be a lot more, and some more lore and exploration. I'll take the mint just because he makes him kind of derpy, and it's quite amusing. I don't know what it does. Mentha reductio. What is that face? This is the freakiest face you ever saw. And these guys are gonna get me. Yep. Well, there you go. He's going to get eaten by the giant mouth for some strange reason. Because he's the Candy Alchemist, and that's what happens to Candy Alchemists when they die, I suppose. But there you go. That's kind of... Let's go back to the main menu. That is kind of dandy for you. It's a very strange and interesting thing, but it's cute and quite compelling at the same time. And I would recommend going and having a look at the Kickstarter. They have 5 days to go left on that, and they have not yet hit their target, so I would recommend going checking that out. I'll put a link to that in the description below. You can indeed download the demo from the Kickstarter, so you can have a playthrough this yourself, and you can see what you think of it for yourselves. But I have been Meroka, this has been Dandy, or a brief glimpse into the life of the Candy Alchemist by We Fiends. I shall see you next time.
Yeah!